First big test of the winter training block has arrived. Doncaster 10k today. Race starts at 10. We're going to get there for about 8:30 to make sure we get a decent parking space. So I'm just sorting all my stuff out before we head off. For anyone curious, race day breakfast is usually 2 Belgian buns. So I'm going to eat those pretty soon, actually, probably around 7:30ish. Give myself plenty of time to digest before running so I don't get a stitch or throw up or whatever. That's what works pretty well for me. It's fast carbs and it just digests quite easily. So all good there. Going to get some coffee made up and then we'll be heading off pretty shortly. Okay, coffee drunk, just getting a bit of a warm up in. Gonna jog about 3k and do maybe like 3 minutes of threshold running and a few strides. Wake the legs up. I don't really know how I'm feeling. Like, I think my legs feel okay, but there's definitely some pre-race jitters creeping in. Goal today is to try and take 2 minutes off my PB, which is quite a lot. So should be a tough outing, and I think I'm a little anxious about just pushing it really hard for 46.5 minutes. Alright, enough yapping. I'm gonna just concentrate on getting all my warm-up stuff done, and I'll check in shortly before the start. And the race is underway. Looking back at the footage for this, it has convinced me I do need to just invest in an Insta360. The GoPro is really good for rugged stuff, but I definitely need something less cumbersome for road racing. My watch registered the first kilometre as 4:40, but I did lap my watch every time I saw a kilometre sign, just in case my GPS and the course were off slightly. As it turns out, the course is dead on 10 kilometres, but some of the kilometre signs don't quite match up with what the GPS thinks. As you're running through Doncaster town centre, there are quite a few twists and turns, but on the whole, they're relatively easy turns to get around, and I'd still say this course is a pretty fast one. There are a couple of slight hills to get up, but again, overall, the route is really, really quick. I do think Doncaster town centre is also surprisingly nice to run through. There are a lot of old buildings that are really, really nice to look at, and there are quite a lot of people out spectating. I just noticed I totally missed that 3 kilometre mark there, so I didn't lap my watch there. But running into and around the town centre, my watch logged a 4:37, a 4:37 and a 4:38, with an 8-second discrepancy from when I lapped my watch after the first kilometre. We then begin to make our way out of the town centre and back towards the racecourse where you start, and I'm still feeling surprisingly good at this stage. Coming back towards the racecourse, we've got a nice wide stretch of road to work with, and I went through the 5 kilometre mark in about 23:03. Well ahead of my target pace and still feeling surprisingly comfortable. I don't really know what to do at this stage because I just don't really have enough road racing experience. So I'm thinking we'll just stick to the plan, we'll keep it controlled, and if I get to 8k and I still feel good, then we'll push on harder. At this stage, we're starting to see the faster runners coming back down the other side of the road after they've been through the turnaround, so we get the opportunity to cheer some people on. As we're approaching the turnaround point, there is a noticeable hill leading up to it. I don't think it's too bad, but I live in Sheffield, so I'm used to running up hills all the time. I think this hill does slow most people down, so it's just worth being aware of it, but you do have a nice downhill to work with on the other side. Now that we're on the other side of the turnaround point, we get to see all the other runners trying their best and cheering them on if we've got enough breath to do so. Into the last kilometre, I'm pushing on with as much as I've got left, and now coming into the final stretch into the racecourse stadium, I'm just making sure I've got enough left for a really good final sprint, and I know I'm going to come under the time target that I set myself going into this.
Immediate post-race thoughts. I think I've gone sub 46. I need to wait for the chip time to come through to be certain of that, because my brain just went sparko on the finish line. But that was shockingly good. Once we got moving, legs felt great. I wasn't really breathing that hard at any point, so I probably could have gone faster, but I'm still a little bit of a noob at road racing. Like, with the off-road stuff, I understand how to pace myself, because it's just all on the feel. But with road racing, I still haven't really, like, learned how to kind of understand how long I can hold a pace for over flat terrain, I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know, my brain's not working, I need sugar. I'll do a little bit more of a thorough breakdown when some calories and things have happened. Alright. Chip time was 45:55. I am still in a state of confused shock about it. It is the following morning. I've slept on it. I'm still confused and shocked. Sub 46 wasn't even on the cards. It wasn't a consideration going into this. I felt like taking 2 minutes off my PB and getting a 46:28 would be doable, but it would be a hard day out. So to go more than 30 seconds faster, I'm still processing. I think I'm still going to be processing it for a few days. Obviously, I'm over the moon. I'm just so ecstatically happy with yesterday's effort, but it's probably not really showing because I'm also intensely confused about how it happened. The conditions yesterday were really, really good. There was a bit of wind, but not that much. The temperature was ideal for me, and Donny 10K is a fast course. There are a couple of uphill bits in it, but the hills aren't so steep that they slow you down so much that the downhill doesn't make up for it. So as a PB effort, everything was really aligned in terms of the course and the weather conditions. I feel like my immediate preparation going into the race was good. I stuck to my normal food intake for race morning, which always works really well for me. And I feel like my warm-up was really, really solid. Because I've been following a lot of the forum discussion and whatnot around the Norwegian singles approach, I'd read that a few people had found that if they did like a rep of threshold or faster during their warm-up before a race, it just meant their legs were ready to go faster in the race. Whereas if they didn't do that, they'd find it a little bit trickier to get up to pace and their legs would feel a bit more sluggish. So adding in 3 minutes of faster than threshold running in the warm-up, I think did really, really help. I did a couple of strides in the warm-up as well, and I did a bunch of drills. So I did a number of things to just make sure my legs were awake and ready to go. I feel like that paid off. I have barely got started with the Norwegian singles approach. I've only been following it for 8 weeks. If you watch my previous video, you'll know that I'm not at the percentage of sub-threshold volume compared to my weekly time on feet that makes the method optimal. So I'm not even really implementing the method properly yet. So to have a result like this when I've not even got started properly with the Norwegian singles approach is an enormous confidence boost as to what could happen over the next 3 months. I'll be getting back into normal training as soon as possible. Normally I do an interval session today, Monday morning, but obviously because I raced yesterday, I'm not going to do that today. I give my legs a little bit of time to recover, but my interval sessions will be back on for the rest of the week. So not much of a down week or anything. I'll just get back up to my normal mileage over the next couple of weeks and yeah, back to normal interval training. And I'll begin to increase the volume of sub-threshold training that I'm doing each week. And although I'm still processing yesterday's result, the excitement is definitely there. Yesterday aerobically, I felt fine. I felt like my legs were able to do the pace pretty comfortably, so I'm definitely excited to see what happens. And I'm also excited to already have a 45 at the start of my 10k PB, because I honestly didn't think I was going to be this close to my longer term goal of a sub 45 10k at this stage. Anyway, Doncaster's a great race. I really, really enjoy it. This is the second year I've done it, and I will absolutely be doing it again in the future. It's a fast course, it's very well organised, The volunteers are great. There are usually a bunch of volunteer photographers out on the course, and photos are freely available afterwards as and when they get uploaded by the volunteer photographers. All in all, just a really, really good event, really good value for money. So Doncaster 10K is a really good one to enter if you want a fast 10K that is well organised. All right, thank you very much for watching. The next video will be discussing the primary goal of the winter training block. So join me next week to find out what that is, how I'm going to prepare for it, and what the specific time goals are going to be. I feel so excited and so hopeful and just really invested in seeing where this is going to end up. If you're equally invested, then subscribe to the channel. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then like the video. There is a playlist that this video will be in that is showing everything in this series so far, so feel free to go and check back on the older videos if you've missed those. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.